So I want to ask what motivates you, but at the same time, I was thinking what irritates you because today has kind of been what irritates me. um, so car shows in town, it's all the imports, the squatted cars, and I realize that a lot of those people are really wonderful, nice people. And like any crowd, of course, there's just the opposite of that. Sometimes it seems like their motivation is how loud and how annoying can I possibly be? And yeah, so earlier I did a video from anger management, sort of, how listening to Skillet's music helped calm me down one time I was really upset with my wife and realized, anger is not something that's very easily to get rid of, as I'm sure you know. The I have what I think might be polite road rage, but it's still road rage. Like, oh my word, I'm not going to flip anybody off. I'm not going to, scream at them out the window. I'm not going to hit anybody, but I'll vent about it. I'm driving down the road. I'll vent about it. So, what is it that sets you off the edge? What pushes your buttons? For the most part, I think I'm a fairly easygoing guy. Several people who know me have like, man, Jim, I just can't picture you ever getting mad. I'm like, oh yeah, it happens. Um, so yeah, today it's about what irritates me, and when you've got a car that is way louder than it needs to be. If you want to keep that for the track, fine. If you want to keep that for certain events, fine. But when you're just driving down normal roads and you feel the urge that as you pass pedestrians, as you pass other cars, you just got to rev that motor as loud as possible, you're a jerk. I mean, what else is there? And Christian, you can't say that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll go on air and right now apologize and rephrase it. When you see a group of cars drive by you and they just rev that motor super loud, hurts your ears, and all they're trying to do is annoy you, I need to be more biblically accurate and say, you brood of vipers, how dare you be so evil? Is that a little bit more accurate? Maybe, maybe not. Well, Jesus could get away with that. John the Baptist could get away with that. But we need to be soft, gentle Christians. Yeah. Sure. Right? Well, let's not call out evil for what it is. But on the same point, yes. Should I be mad about it? No. Should I bless those who persecute me? Yes. Do I have a hard time with that? Mostly. I was going to say sometimes, but I don't think that's completely accurate. I think mostly is probably more accurate. I wish it was only sometimes. So, turn the radio on, and this was another idea of a topic for this. Was like, should Christians listen to secular music? I've met the ultra religious people who are like dead set against secular music depending on where they are. Well, I'm sorry. Woe to you, you hypocrites, right? They preach. They get their sons to preach, and they're big into the gospel, and I love that. They'll go hang out at a secular event and have no problem with the secular music. But if you have to have a Christian-based event, and it's a luau, it's fun, and we're going to throw some gospel music in there, we're going to throw some secular music in there that is clean, acceptable, almost Ecclesiastes-like, and they have a huge problem with that, cover the kids' ears, and we needed to walk away from here, but you'll go listen to that exact same music somewhere else. Really? What's wrong with you? Do you not think about your own actions, what you're trying to portray to particular crowds and not the other crowds. Come on. And at the same time, yes, I am a Christian. I love God. I love his Bible. I love his truths. And I suffer with getting angry with people who purposefully try to annoy you, purposely try to just be mean on you. Like, what is your problem? And I say mostly because, sometimes I get it. I know what it is. And I can understand that. It's whatever. It's who you are. You can be wrong if you want to. But then other times it just irritates me a whole lot more than it should. And I go like, Jim, come on. You got to stop. So anyways, back to the radio. Turn the radio on and pull up my playlist here. First three songs that came on kind of in order. Blake Shelton's Sun Beach. Toes, Zach Brown Band. Hunting, fishing, love it every day. Luke Bryan. And like, you know what? Yeah, especially the first one, Sun Beach. If you know the lyrics, it's talking about just situations. You're like, what the heck? What is wrong with these people? You know what? I was going to put my mindset on, Sun Beach. Somewhere. Sunset, there's a chair. Like, I can ignore the evil that's in the world and just enjoy this amazing creation that God has created. The ocean, the sunset, the waves, whatever. Just, I got to put my mindset there. Today was a good day for that song because trying to drive through these people who are just, the majority of them seem just evil and rude. And I'm like, no. There's a beach somewhere that's peaceful. I need to get my mind there. And I think a lot of that, even though that's a secular song, I think a lot of it comes from this internal desire. Like we were created to have a relationship with God, right? And when we are in that, the peace that fills us is just crazy. And we know here on this earth, things are tough, they're hard, there's struggles, but God promised us, kind of like that song talks about, some beach, somewhere. We know that God has a paradise provided, created for those who love him, who worship him, who obey him. Keyword there. Don't forget that one. You can't just believe in him. You got to obey him. Jesus himself said, those who love me are those who obey my commandments, not just believe in me. Even demons do that. You got to do more than just believe. You have to obey. Yeah, we're going to struggle with that, but we go through that. God has a paradise planned for us, and that is his rest that he is going to provide after we go through our earthly struggles. The toes in the water, same thing. Like, you know what? That's so peaceful. I'm driving down the roads and just irritated with these people and realize, you know what? It would be nice to have vacation. Like, let's go to the ocean. Let's go sit by a river in the woods, in the mountains, something. Let's just get away from the evil and just sit in God's creation. And here we have a temporary time for that, right? And then tomorrow is right back to work, right back on the road, right back to the evil. And it's an up and down, it's an up and down. It's that hope in the promise that we have. It's an interesting word, I think, that we say that we have that hope. Yet at the same time, is it really hope? It's a guarantee. We know, guaranteed, God has a place for us where we don't have to deal with hateful people. We don't have to deal with people who just want to irritate you. We don't have to deal with crazy noises that hurt your ears. It's going to be his light. It's going to be his light, his presence, his love, whatever that paradise looks like that he has created for us, that we get to spend the rest of eternity in his rest. I think that's one of the prayers of like, Jesus comes soon. Like, not only do we want to witness the end times, like we read about it, we understand some of it we don't understand, but we know it's going to happen. It's like, I want to see that fulfilled. Like, show me that. You're going to appear in the sky. You're going to bring your people with you in the sky. With your words, you're going to put an end to all the suffering, to all the evil, to all the disgusting, to all the rude. And you're going to judge the world, and you're going to take those who loved you and bring them into such a place like I can't even imagine. That goes to Mercy's Me song. I can only imagine what that day will be like. Will I sing? Will I be silent? Will I stand? Will I bow down? Like, what will that be like? And that's permanent. That is a permanent rest. Yeah, I'm good for that. That would be so nice. But here we still have our struggles. We still have our issues. But even in the secular music, we can find that desire of even Luke Bryan's song, hunting, fishing, and loving every day. Like, there is a peaceful, wonderful, God-given gift of living this life in such a way that is just, it's full of joy in all kinds of different ways. Like, the devil fills these kids with that joy of, if you can irritate somebody, you can see somebody irritated by how evil you are, you can find a demonic joy in that. That's not going to last. The idea of hunting, fishing, loving every day, like, God has provided a planet for us to enjoy. He provided nature for us to enjoy. Even the hunting side of it, he has provided some animals as beauty, as part of what nature needs to keep this world going, including a food source that is just wonderful. Like, we get to enjoy that with thanks to a God who provided far more than we deserve, more than we need. And some people would rather find joy in irritating people. No. No. So with all this ruckus, we had our own little joyful moment the other day on the Shadow of Evil. So food truck park right up the road here is awesome. Everybody who shows up there is awesome. We love it. One of the food trucks is new this year. They're just getting their feet going. They do amazing food. They're slow, especially when they're short-staffed. And this older couple in front of us was just, they're cussing them out because their food wasn't ready. It was taking too long. They got, what on earth? But when you see the evil like that, and you get to be the one next with a huge smile and tell a person, take your time. You worry about that one first. Absolutely. We're in no rush. We get it. People are mean. We're not. We can be the patient ones. We can be the loving ones. There's a difference just that makes in other people's life. And when, like Jesus, who came to serve us, he who created us finds joy when he serves us. As we are created in his image, we find the same type of joy when we serve others. And we get to see others notice that difference, notice that joy that they feel from the patience, from the loving, from the acceptance. Like, that's so much more fun than finding a demonic joy in revving your motor as loud as you can, popping your exhaust as loud as possible, as often as possible. Like, what? I don't know if you've seen my other filters. I don't know if you've seen my other videos. One of them I talked about my filter, trying to be polite on the camera. Yeah, okay. Trying to be polite on the camera. be nice. What irritates you? What motivates you? And what's the connection between those two? So if you're irritated, are you motivated to be mean? Are you motivated to vent? Hi, human. Nice to meet you. I'm one of those too. What irritates me, makes me want to vent about it and complain about it. And I'm in a miserable spot. Like, I don't, why do I go down that particular route if that actually doesn't really help me or them? If I can find the irritating and find a way to love them and bless them through that process, there's a different kind of joy that's more rewarding. Sometimes it's easy to find, sometimes it's hard to find. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to mature my relationship with God, that even in the hard times, I can find that time of, you know what, this is irritating. They're being evil. God created them. I should feel more upset that they don't understand that. And if I'm going to get angry with them, I'm not going to be able to show them that. So that's a tough one. Definitely a tough one. Showing love to the people who are irritating. It's so much easier to show love to people who are nice to you. It's easier to show love to people who are being hated on by somebody else. Like you see that this is something that you can provide to cheer them back up. But to be loving and cheerful to somebody who's just trying to annoy you, that's the spot I would like to get. And I say that only because I know it's right. I say that because that's what Jesus wants us to do. That's what the Bible teaches us to do. And oddly enough, when you can do that, it's more joyful than getting angry. You never find joy in anger. You can find motivation, sure. But joy, I've never been joyful while I'm angry. So, what pushes your buttons? What irritates you? What motivates you to be mean, to be vengeful, to be loving, to find that lack of love somewhere that you can provide? And how can you grow in that area to be more like Christ? That's the challenge. How can you find those tough situations where you can grow to be more like Christ?